Alright, welcome in everybody. This is Rainbow Custom Lures. Today we're going to be doing a bluegill. This is the reference photo we will be using. Pull the camera back a little bit so you see a little better. So first what I do with a reference photo is I kind of pick apart my what I call block color. So you have a little bit of teal in here, or blue, maybe, yeah, more of a teal. And then, of course, your typical bluegill, which is going to be a combination of blues, greens, and teals. I mainly mess with the blues and teals. The greens kind of come with everything else. And then you have your chest color, which is going to be a combination of either a yellow, a red, a burnt orange, an orange. There's multiple different colors you can use here. Now this particular one looks like it's got like a burnt orange underneath with a little bit of a heavier red put in the middle of it. And then if you look, you got some white here and there. And then you'll have some yellows, golden, yellow, green. And then, of course, your darker colors, that's going to be darker greens, a little bit of black. Honestly, sometimes, depending on how the colors are laying, a little bit of purple can actually make that come to life. So let's see what we can do. So there's the reference photo. Like I said, we will be doing this on a 2.5 square bill. So we have this here. Of course, we're not going to go into all that realistic super detail, but we are going to use that reference photo to try and turn this lure into a pretty good looking bluegill. So, let me go ahead and get my primer and stuff ready, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. I've got my colors picked out, and so first thing we're going to do, obviously, we're going to prime it white. Bluegil. I always like to prime the hard spots first. And then go in and get the big wide open areas. That real quick and get another coat. Okay, notice I don't have any tape on the bill. We're not painting the bill. I actually use liquid mask on the bill. That way I can get a really nice clean look right up to the lure. When I get done painting, I'll peel that off. As long as you don't let it sit there and cure on it for like a day or two, it's pretty easy to get back off. So now we want to come on, now we got the primer put down. Now we want to come in and do a pearl white. And this I will have to reduce. It is a little thick. I figure since we're painting a bluegill, I have some animal noises in the background, so hopefully that don't bother none of y'all. Just figure it kind of went with it. And I did get kind of in trouble for some of the music. Apparently it's that I played last time. Apparently that's not allowed in certain countries or something. So it does have a minor restriction in certain countries apparently. And it does seem to be hurting the views. So we're going to go this route with it. Let's see if this goes any better. Like I said, I'm still learning some of this stuff. So let's trial and error as we go. See if I can show you kind of the consistency I get to here, so I don't drip it. Oh well, that's why all my videos are pretty much unedited, so you get to see the whole raw footage of everything. Alright, that's about right. Wipe my finger off here. Alright, so let's get the brush loaded up. And it won't take but one, maybe two coats to make this work. You just want to get a little bit of a white sparkle. Zoom out a little bit. I'm a little close. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, so now this is what I come into and I say about the block colors. When I say blocking, it's all the undertone colors that you normally may not pay attention to or notice. Let me check something here. All right, but my camera is acting weird on me. I'm sorry about that, folks. But it's all the underlying colors. So what I want to do first is let's try and get that the blues established. So my first color blue is you always start light and go dark. Is the daylight blue. And it won't take much of this because you're not going to put it on very heavy, and it's only in a couple little small areas. There it is. My reducer is hiding on me. So now we'll mix that together. All right. Zoom back out a little here. We are going to switch over to a detail brush. Might not be doing details just yet, but I don't need a whole lot of paint in a whole lot of areas. I will pull back on the air a little bit. That way I have a little more control. As you see there, let me get my camera angle just a little bit. Can you try my camera? Nope, it ain't gonna work up there. I'm still working on this camera, y'all. The angle and everything, it's still kind of new to me. There. But like I said, this is just the light tones. So just kind of bear with it, trust the process. And I did wrap it around the lips and up underneath the gills coming in. So there's the blue, there's the light portion of the blue. Oh, wait, almost forgot something. The one we're going after has a little bit in the tail section back here. So let's just feather in just a little bit. Keeping light pressure on the airbrush. There we go. Said it's sometimes in small details that will make your lure stand out among everyone else's. It's one thing I have learned in the short time I have been painting. Everyone out there that paints lures, they do a good job. There's a lot of fantastic painters out there. I've personally gotten to see a couple new painters start out, and that's been a absolute blast. But it's the small details that will make your lure different. Everyone does a bluegill. Everyone does a baby bass. Everyone does sexy shad. It's how you do your bluegill and your baby bass and your sexy shad that makes yours stand apart. It's your signature, so to say. All right, so now we need to switch over to the darker blue. We're not going to go real heavy with the dark. My darker blue is going to be a solvent-based color. It is Blue Waves by Tropical Blitz. It is solvent-based. And I've had people sit there and tell me you can't mix water-based and solvent-based and everything. I do it just fine. Yeah, I don't seem to have any reactions or anything like that. Sorry about that. Notice I'm not going complete coverage. I'm going really light. So it's not about making complete covers. And what that lighter and darker blue creates, and any other color done that way, is a good transition of the lighter blues into the darker blues is all it's doing. But definitely, I don't know, I think it just helps the colors pop in the end. Let me get this color ran out of my airbrush here. I do need to turn my vent back on. Now I will say, anytime you're messing with solvent-based paints, make sure you have a vent turned on. You do not want to be breathing this stuff. It probably wouldn't hurt to have a respirator. Alright, so there's that. Alright, so our next color, we're actually going to do another solvent paint. It's a highlight base. It kind of just adds a little bit of a blushy, peachy color. Not very dramatic, but in the end it does help. Now a lot of my work at this point will be done with the detail brush, even though, like I said, it's not detail work. But it's only because of the amount of paint that I'm going to be using. Y'all probably can't see the difference, but there is a slight difference. I said it's a very, very subtle color. These videos so far. Like I said, I'm still new to this stuff, And I'm enjoying it so far. I'm enjoying hearing what everyone has to say and reading the comments. I would like to see more comments come in. If y'all do like this stuff, by all means, subscribe, like, hit the little, hit this little bell notification, hit it so you know when I do post something new. As of right now, I'm over 50 followers. I'm not on a computer, so I'm not able to go live as of yet. But as we grow, that will definitely become a thing. Alright, so now I have the blue, the little bit of details in here. Hold on. I had something pop up on my camera. But if you'll notice, I don't know if you can see it or not, there's just a slight peachy color in here. Kind of a fleshy color. So that's really going to help. You got your white belly. There we go. I had to wipe my camera off. But you got the white belly, the little peach tones. Alright, so now we're going to go with the chest color. And so first, with that, we are going to go back to water paste. We're going to lay down a light orange, since that's how this picture is, a Wicked Opaque. It's a pyrrole orange. This particular orange, even though it's an opaque color, does gradually build. So it's a very unique opaque style color. If anyone watching the channel doesn't know what opaque means, it's it's when a color is solid. You can't see through it or anything like that. Kind of like a primer. A primer is opaque. So that tells you what that color is going to do. You're not going to be able to see through the color or anything like that. It's going to be very solid. And I just dropped my mix container. So let's pick it back up, clean it out, get my dog hairs out of it. All right. Let's zoom back out for a little bit here. One, two, three, 4, 5. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. These are just different additives I add to the paint to help reduce and thin it down and make it spray better. Very few colors can actually be sprayed straight from the bottle. Most of them need just a little bit of help. I do recommend staying with the reducers and stuff that's made by the company that makes the paint. That way you know it's compatible. Okay, so again, we're going to use the detail brush. And you don't have to have 2 or 3 different brushes or anything like that. I just prefer to have a couple of different brushes that help me achieve certain things. It's my style. Now we're going to put just a little bit of orange throughout the chest area. said, it's not going to take much. For one, it's a very solid color, but it does gradually build. And the next color is going to be is the Detail Burnt Orange. That light is a little intense for me. And what this is going to do, it's a little darker orange. On this particular fish, that chest is a little bit darker than normal, so that's what we're going to go after. Okay. Okay, there we go. We're just going to start in the middle and work our way out. Really light coats. You don't want to go too strong with the darker colors. That right there is all we need. I hope y'all are enjoying the video so far. Y'all can find me on Instagram, Facebook. I've actually got two different. I got a personal account and a painting account. They call it a business account on there, but for me it's just a painting account. But if you look up Danny Rainbolt or Rainbolt Custom Lures, you'll find one or the other. Both of them will have the Rainbolt Custom Lures logo, either the older one or a newer one. But if it does not have that logo, then it is not me. There are a couple other Danny Rainbolts on there. There are older accounts that have gotten taken away from me by bad people. They kind of locked me out of my own account, and so yeah. But TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, pretty much if you type in Rainbolt Custom Lures, it will take you to me most everywhere. I try to be most of your popular apps, so to say. That way I can show off what I've been doing. People can see it. If people are interested in getting anything, then by all means they can get a hold of me. I do custom paints, repaints, pretty much. If you need something done with the lure as far as paint wise, just let me know and I'll let you know if I can do it or not. And I'll let you know kind of what it's going to run. Hold on, I gotta get me a little bean juice. Alright, so now we have our whites, our blues, our chest oranges. So now we need to come in with them subtle greens that are in the top. So what we are going to do now yeah, we're going to go with a golden high flow, green gold. All right, sorry, gotta take care of something really quick. But we're still getting our green gold put down, and that's going to come from the top, fading down. And go ahead and let that come in on top of the blue a little bit. Don't forget to get the tail. So that's got our underlying color of greens set up. And so now we're going to heat set this. Because we don't want none of this get scratched. Alright. So now it's all heat set. You won't scratch it very easy. Because now we're going to start messing with some stencils and getting some details in there. So, we need to get now this isn't going to be a traditional bluegill as far as, you know, just simple vertical lines. I don't do a whole lot of traditional. I mean, we're definitely going to have vertical lines. It's just not going to be your normal vertical lines. We'll put it that way. Let's see, would that work? No, let's go with... Still trying to find something I really like as far as my stencils. I did not have a stencil pre-planned for this. Still looking, folks. You know what? We're just going to use... I have a Bluegil stencil. Instead of me sitting here looking forever, we are going to just go ahead and use it. All right. Now, before I do my stencil work, I am going to put a mid coat on to help protect the paint job. And all that is some 4050 UVLS gloss clear. I'll spray just a small coat of that on, and then I'll dry it, and that will help protect the paint from scratching from the stencil. Because these stencils are a real stiff plastic. I'm going to take it off the stand and put this down on something to hold the stencil down properly. Flush that out of the airbrush. So what this is going to do, just gives me a little bit of a protective layer to protect the paint from the clear coat, or from the stencil. trust me, I know right now you're all looking at it going, that's not going to be a bluegill. Trust me, it's going to look like a bluegill in the end. Okay, now just lightly touch it. Okay, we're going to give that just a second to cool. I am going to... No, I think we're just going to keep it fairly simple. Maybe. I have a habit of not keeping things simple for after a little while. Alright, now we're going to go with the Bloodline Vile Green. It's the Createx illustration colors. And like I said, this will have to be taken off the stands, I do believe, in order to get this to lay down the way I want it to. It will be easier, yeah. Yeah, that will be much easier. Yep. Okay. Now we will be switching back to the detail brush. Anytime you're using the stencil, the tighter you can get the stencil to the lure body, the better off. Try and spray straight to it. In light coats. Just build your coats up. Use the air from the airbrush to help dry it. And don't be afraid to paint your fingers. And if your lines do get a little hazy here and there, that's perfectly fine. There's no fish that has a perfect vertical bar. Nice. Now we will heat flash that to make sure everything's good and dry before we flip it over. Okay, now I am going to put a towel down on that sponge. I don't need it scratching the paint. And always double check, make sure your stencil is dry. Because when you flip it over to the other side, you'll be putting what you just painted down on the lure. So you don't want a whole big just area on there. Just get it lined up again the way you want it. Okay. And one side is always easier than the other. This is my hard side. Alright, I'm sorry about that, folks. We got that stencil done up. I ran out of storage on my phone. Actually, I had to upgrade my storage. So, I haven't done anything besides finish that side. So you didn't miss nothing. I just finished that side of the detail. As you can see, it's starting to come together now. I know it's still not there yet, but just trust me, it's going to come together. So there's our lines for the bluegill. Yeah, apparently my phone didn't have enough storage to hold all the videos. So, yeah, now it does. I made sure of that. So we have, like I said, the gold green. Now we did the details with the vial green. That way it gave us the deep green, almost black. I try not to use black too much. A lot of people do. There's nothing wrong with using black, but I try and use the natural colors. Black does show up in nature, but not as heavy as what you might think if you really look at the pictures. A lot of times it's a darker tone of the natural colors that are already there. So now that we have that, I do have this sap green hue. I am going to use it to come into the very back a little bit. And this is where we are going to use our detail brush again. Make sure to get that color sprayed out of it. I haven't even sprayed the color out yet, so that tells you I didn't get very far. I had to take care of the issue. I do apologize for the disruption. Just had a minor technical difficulty. Alright. Still having some storage issues, so if you're seeing some glitches in the video, this is why. So we are switching over to this sap green hue. We're going to use it to bring some life into this lure. Just going to put a little bit on the very back. Just go a little at a time. Bring it into the gill area. You want it just in the top of the gill area. Come across the nose, coming to the top of the gill area here. All right, now you can start seeing it's starting to come along. Now we'll just lightly dust a little here and there in the middle of the body. This is where a little bit of air, distance, and a whole lot of control on that airbrush trigger. You just want to start bringing that green down. And darken out the back a little bit more. Don't forget the tail. Okay, now you're starting to see it come together. Okay, so now I'm going to run that color out of the brush. Now we're going to take a closer look at it, see if we need to add anything else to it to help bring that effect together. All right, so see the belly still got a little bit of, if I can get the camera to come in on it. You see the belly still looks a little bare. So now what we're going to do, oh, don't hold it to the magnet, is we are going to get this stuff I have. It's made by Golden. Actually, yeah. It's called Shading Gray. It's this stuff right here. Shading Gray. All it is a really transparent black. spraying it from a pretty good distance. And I think that's going to have it. Clean my airbrush and I'll give y'all a closer look at it. Alright. So, now, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Set my phone up here. Sorry folks, I'm having storage issues with my phone, but this is what it turned out to be. Once I get it clear coated and everything, I'll put a video of it in the shorts, so keep an eye out. I appreciate y'all, and if you would, subscribe, like it, give me some comments, some feedback, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.